I'll start with the confession. I've spent 2 years of my life as a young man being a professional gambler. And so I know the gambling industry and the gambling experience firsthand. This is not an egghead who has read articles or conducted studies, and this is someone who's been through this. However, I used to be a professional gambler, a pro gambler. And I can tell you that the difference between a pro gambler and a compulsive gambler is like the difference between two unrelated species. These are absolutely not the same kind of people. A pro gambler is a mathematician, basically. He or she, mostly he is detached, he's cool, is calculated, and he has very strict boundaries, like stop losses and stop profits, and so on and so forth. The behavior is completely controlled. There are no impulses involved. There's no impulsivity. So the pro gambler is someone who tries to optimize a mathematical system involving usually probability in order to eke out a meager existence out of the experience in a casino. And a pro gambler who ends up 8 hours or 10 hours of gambling with 20% profit is a genius. Yeah. Whereas the compulsive gambler is an entirely different animal and shares nothing with the professional gambler. So I used to be a professional gambler, but I've spent 2 years observing these people in their natural habitat and ecosystem. Okay. You mentioned the phrase gambling disorder. It's a relatively new phrase. It was first introduced in the 5th edition of the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual, which is the diagnostic manual in use in North America, mainly, not only, but mostly in North America. Gambling disorder is not recognized by other diagnostic manuals, such as the International Classification of Diseases and others. However, compulsive gambling, problem gambling, gambling disorder have been described for decades and have been studied for decades. Initially, when I say we, I mean the profession. I'm a professor of psychology. Initially, psychologists believe that gambling is an impulsive behavior. It's about an inability to control an impulse which takes over and forces the hand of the gambler, so to speak.